Hello students, today let's continue with acids, bases and salt, and today we are going to study how sodium chloride is obtained and how this sodium chloride can serve as a raw material for the production of different chemicals. Right, see here, sodium chloride, which is also called as the common salt, it is obtained from the seawater, and also it is obtained from the rock salt. Right, from the seawater it is obtained by the process of evaporation, as we know that seawater contains a number of dissolved salt in it, and sodium chloride is present in larger amount in the seawater. And the rock salt, from the rock salt it is obtained in the solid form, and this as an underground deposit, and rock salt is brown in color because of the presence of certain impurities in it. Now let's see how the sodium chloride is prepared in the laboratory. Now just see here, we know that HCl plus an acid and a base combine together to form salt and water. Now for the production of common salt, we will take hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide as a base, and we will get a salt as sodium chloride plus water is released. Right, so this is the equation how common salt is obtained in a laboratory. अब बच्चों यहाँ ध्यान से देखिए, HCl plus NaOH ने की रिएक्शन से हमें मिला है NaCl और वाटर. क्या ये पॉसिबल है कि ये NaCl और वाटर का जो सॉल्यूशन है इससे हम दोबारा जो हमें HCl और NaOH मिल जाए? अंडर नॉर्मल कंडीशन ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, क्योंकि सोडियम क्लोराइड जो है वो एक आयोनिक कंपाउंड है, और सोडियम क्लोराइड जो है बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड से दोनों आपस में जुड़े हुए हैं. तो नॉर्मल कंडीशन में इसको ब्रेक करना जो है वो पॉसिबल नहीं है. लेकिन अगर हम इसे तोड़ना चाहते हैं, अगर हम इस बॉन्ड को ब्रेक करना चाहते हैं, तो वी हैव टू प्रोवाइड सम एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी टू दैट. राइट, नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू ब्रेक दिस salt. Let's see how we are going to do it. Okay, so this we'll see with the help of an activity, right? And the energy, we have to provide extra energy, and that energy let's use in the form of electricity. Now how we are going to do this? Just see here, we will take a beaker, right? We will take a beaker, then two electrodes, right, connected to a battery, right? This is anode, the positive electrode, and this will act as a cathode, the negative electrode. Okay, now what we are going to do, we will take the solution of aqueous solution of sodium chloride in this beaker. We are going to take aqueous solution of sodium chloride in this beaker, NaCl plus water. Right, and student, please note here, the aqueous solution of sodium chloride is called as brine, brine. The aqueous solution of sodium chloride is called as brine. Now what we are going to do here, see here, as the electricity will pass through this circuit, then what happens, this NaCl and water will break into its constituent ions. Right, now see here, Na plus Cl minus, then H plus and OH minus ions will be produced here. NaCl will break into its constituent ions, that is Na plus and Cl minus, and water will break into H plus and OH minus ion. Now see here, since it is a positive electrode, so obviously what will happen, the negative charge ion will try to move towards the anode. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ पे negative charge ions कौन कौन से हो गए, एक Cl minus हो गया और एक हो गया OH minus. ये दोनों क्या हमारे negative charge ions हैं. अब होगा क्या, ये OH minus यहाँ ना जाके ये जो Cl minus है that will move towards the anode, क्योंकि ये negative है, ये positive electrode की तरफ जाएगा. अब यहाँ देखो, Cl minus का मतलब क्या है, इसने कहीं से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्स्ट्रा लिया है, तो अब वो क्या चाहता है कि जो एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन उसने लिया है वो उसे लूज कर दे और फ्री हो जाए. तो उसके लिए ये क्लोरीन क्या करेगा, ये एनोड की तरफ जाएगा और यहाँ जाके वो क्या करेगा, अपने एक इलेक्ट्रॉन को लूज करेगा और वो क्लोरीन जो है फ्री हो जाएगा. तो ये क्लोरीन यहाँ डिपॉजिट हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो एट एनोड, एट हमारे एनोड पे रिएक्शन क्या होगा, एट एनोड पे रिएक्शन क्या हो जाएगा, ये क्लोरीन जो Cl माइनस था उसने एनोड पे जाके क्या किया, अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन को उसने लूज कर दिया और वो फ्री हो गया, ठीक है। फिर Cl मिलके क्या बनाएंगे, दे विल फॉर्म Cl2 एंड क्लोरीन गैस विल बी प्रोड्यूस्ड एंड दिस Cl2 गैस will be liberated at the anode. Cl2 gas will be liberated at the anode. अब आ जाइए कैथोड पे क्या होगा, क्योंकि कैथोड एक नेगेटिव इलेक्ट्रोड है, ये नेगेटिव इलेक्ट्रोड है तो ऑब्वियसली होगा क्या कि पॉजिटिव आयंस जो होते हैं वो जो है इस नेगेटिव इलेक्ट्रोड्स की तरफ जाएंगे। तो अभी पॉजिटिव आयंस में क्या हो गया, एक हो गया हमारा Na+ और दूसरा हो गया हमारा H+। तो अब ऐसा होगा कि ये जो H+ है, हाइड्रोजन के पास तो ऑलरेडी एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन है और H+ का मतलब क्या है कि उसने अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज किया हुआ है ना, लूज किया। तो अब ये क्या करेगा, इसको इलेक्ट्रॉन की सख्त जरूरत है तो ये जाएगा कैथोड पे और ये तो नेगेटिव इलेक्ट्रोड है, यहाँ तो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की भरमार है और ये जाके यहाँ पे जो है एक इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन कर देगा और ये H बन जाएगा। तो एट कैथोड पे रिएक्शन क्या होगा देख लेते हैं। कैथोड पे रिएक्शन क्या होगा, ये H+ है, इसे एक इलेक्ट्रॉन की जरूरत है, वो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लेगा कैथोड पे एंड इट विल बिकम H, ठीक है। अब क्या होगा, ये H+H मिलके दे विल फॉर्म H2 एंड दिस हाइड्रोजन गैस विल बी लिबरेटेड एट द कैथोड, द H2 gas will be liberated at the cathode, right? Now see here, अच्छा, एंड देन व्हाट विल हैपन टू दिस सोडियम, अब यहाँ बच गया क्या, Na+ और OH- बच गया। अब ये Na+ और OH- आपस में कंबाइन होके ये बनाएंगे NaOH, हमारा कास्टिक सोडा, ये आप इसे बोल दीजिए सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड। और ये सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड जो बना है हमारा, दैट विल बी फॉर्म नियर द कैथोड, इट विल बी फॉर्म नियर द कैथोड। तो ये प्रोसेस में अभी हम देखेंगे कि इस प्रोसेस में क्या क्या बना, एक बना है क्लोरीन बन गया है ना, फिर हाइड्रोजन गैस बन गई और हमारे पास एक हमारा ये क्या बना, एक बेस भी मिला हमें, ठीक है। अब सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड जो बेस हमें इस प्रोसेस से मिला है, ये बेस क्या है, it is soluble in water and we know that a base which is soluble in water is called as an alkali. So this process is called as chlor-alkali process. This process is called as chlor-alkali process और ये प्रोसेस में हमने क्या किया है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोवाइड करके we have broken down this brine into its constituent ions and then we have obtained so many products. We have obtained, you can see the products, chlorine Cl2 gas मिली है हमें कहाँ पर, एनोड पे, हाइड्रोजन गैस एट द कैथोड एंड सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड नियर द कैथोड। अब जो है क्लोरीन की अपनी अलग इंपॉर्टेंस है, हाइड्रोजन की अपनी अलग इंपॉर्टेंस है और जो सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड है उसका अपना अलग इंपॉर्टेंस है। अब अगर ये क्लोरीन और हाइड्रोजन जब आपस में मिल जाएगा तो ये क्या बना देगा हमारा, हाइड्रोक्लोराइड, है ना, हाइड्रोक्लोराइड बना देगा। और व्हेन दिस हाइड्रोक्लोराइड कंबाइंड विद द वाटर देन इट विल फॉर्म अ वेरी यूजफुल रिएजेंट एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड, राइट। तो अब हम देखते हैं ये रिएक्शन से हमें क्या क्या मिल गया, हमें मिला क्लोरीन, हमें मिला हाइड्रोजन, हमें मिल गया सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड और ऑल्सो हमें क्या मिला है, हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड, राइट। सो दिस इज अ वेरी यूजफुल प्रोसेस। अब ये जो एंटायर प्रोसेस हुआ है, ये प्रोसेस को भी हम लोग एक इक्वेशन में समराइज कर सकते हैं। रिएक्शन क्या था हमारा, NaCl प्लस वाटर, है ना, NaCl पर प्लस वाटर था, हमें मिला है सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड प्लस H2 प्लस Cl2, राइट, 2. This is the equation can be summarized like this, okay. Next is the uses of hydrogen, right. Hydrogen is used for making ammonia, which is further used for the production of various fertilizers like ammonium phosphate, calcium ammonium nitrate, etc. Then hydrogen is also used in the hydrogenation of vegetable oil to form solid fats like vanaspati ghee and artificial butter. Then it is used for the metallurgy to reduce heavy metal oxide to metals, and then liquid hydrogen is also used as a rocket fuel. Next is the use of chlorine, and chlorine is used as a germicide and disinfectant for sterilization of water in the swimming pool, and then it is used in the manufacture of bleaching powder, chloroform and hydrochloric acid. Then it is used in the manufacture of chlorofluorocarbon. Then it is used in the bleaching of wood pulp and cotton fabrics. Then chlorine is also used in the manufacture of polyvinyl chloride, and then it is used for the manufacture of pesticides. So these are the different uses of hydrogen and chlorine which is obtained by the chloroalkali process. Next, hydrochloric acid is also obtained by the same process. So it has got its own uses, like it is HCl is used as a reagent in the laboratory, then for cleaning steel, then in the textile industry, then it is also used in the manufacture of medicines and cosmetics. Then the sodium hydroxide, that is the caustic soda, which is formed as a result of this reaction, it also has its own importance. It is used in the manufacture of soap and detergents, and then it is used in the paper industry. It is used in making artificial fibers like rayon, etc. Then for degreasing the metals, then in the manufacture of dyes, and it is also used in the petroleum refining, and it is also used as a laboratory reagent. So these are the uses of the various substances or the chemicals which is formed by the chloroalkali process. Right. Now see here, when the chlorine gas which is released, by this process, this can also be used for the production of another important compound. See here, when chlorine gas is allowed to pass through the dry slaked line, then calcium oxychloride plus and water is produced. So this is the bleaching powder, CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride. Now bleaching powder also has got its own importance. Now let's see, just look at your screen and see the uses of bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, it is used in the textile industry for bleaching cotton and linen, then in the paper industry for bleaching wood pulp, in laundry for bleaching wash clothes, then making wool unshrinkable. Then it is also used in the manufacture of chloroform, and this bleaching powder is also used for disinfecting the drinking water to make it free of germs and to clean water in the storage tank. So these are the uses of bleaching powder. Now see here, now let us come to the next compound, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, and let's see how this sodium hydrogen carbonate is obtained and what are its uses. So let's see, next compound is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, NaHCO3. Now let's see how this sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed. Now this sodium hydrogen carbonate is obtained by the reaction between saturated solution of sodium chloride, ammonia and carbon dioxide. Now see, the product we obtain is NaHCO3, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride. Now ammonium chloride is highly soluble in water, whereas sodium hydrogen carbonate is sparingly soluble in water. Now this is completely soluble in water and this is sparingly soluble in water, and this sodium hydrogen carbonate is obtained in the solid form and then it is filtered and dried. Now let's see the uses of baking soda or sodium hydrogen carbonate. It is used as an antacid in the medicine to remove acidity. Then it is used in making baking powder. See here, sodium hydrogen carbonate, it is also called as baking soda. Right, it is also called as baking soda. It is used for the preparation of baking powder. Right, now see here, this is the formula of baking soda. It is used for making bread and cakes. When this baking soda is added to the dough becomes lighter and it becomes fluffy due to the evolution of the carbon dioxide gas. Because when NaHCO3, when it is heated, then what happens? Na2CO3 is formed and then CO2 sodium carbonate is formed and CO2 gas is liberated, and this CO2 gas is responsible for the for rising the duff. Now this so due to the presence of this sodium carbonate, after heating of sodium hydrogen carbonate, our cake or bread, it may taste little bit bitter. So that bitterness can be avoided by treating the baking soda with some mild acid. By treating it with some mild acid, for example tartaric acid, or it may be citric acid, right? So at that time what happens, this bitterness will be avoided because the base will combine with the acid and its effect will be neutralized, so the taste will not taste bitter, right? Next is this sodium hydrogen carbonate, also called as the baking soda. It is also used as a soda acid fire extinguisher. Now let's see how it is used as soda acid fire extinguisher. See here, let's take a wash bottle. Right. It will have a nozzle like this. Then with the help of a thread, we will attach a test tube here. Right. Now in this, what solution we are going to take? We are going to take the solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay? And here in this we will take an acid, that is H2SO4. We will take sulfuric acid. Now what will happen? Now what will happen, just see what we are going to do. We are going to tilt this bottle. When we tilt this bottle, just see the position of this bottle. When we tilt this bottle, then what happens? This acid, it comes in contact with the sodium hydrogen carbonate. This acid H2SO4, it comes in contact with sodium hydrogen carbonate, and as a result of this reaction, NaHCO3 metal hydrogen carbonate plus an acid Na2SO4, a salt will be produced, plus water plus CO2 gas will be produced. Right? Now see here, when we are tilting this bottle, acid is coming in contact with sodium hydrogen carbonate, and then the chemical reaction will take place and water and carbon dioxide will be released and it will come out through the nozzle. And we know, and this carbon dioxide that is coming out from the nozzle can be used to extinguish fire. And this carbon dioxide being heavier than air, it will form a layer over the fire. You can bring a candle, and lighted candle you can bring like this. Then what will happen? This CO2 will form a blanket over this fire and it will cut the O2 contact between the fire and the oxygen, and our fire will be extinguished. And we know that oxygen is very much essential for the fire to take place. Right? So this is how this is called as a soda acid fire extinguisher. Due to the evolution of carbon dioxide gas, by this reaction it can extinguish the fire. Right? Now, so it can be used as a soda acid fire extinguisher. The milkman also add sodium hydrogen carbonate into milk so as to shift its pH value and make it slightly alkaline, so that the milk do not become sour very easily. And when the milkman boils the milk, then what happens? The froth occurs and the decomposition of the sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is baking soda, the decomposition will take place and carbon dioxide gas will be evolved, and then after the complete decomposition of the sodium hydrogen carbonate, then the pH value of the milk will again come back to 6, and then it can set as curd by the action of the lactic acid bacteria. Right? Next salt that we have to study in our syllabus is sodium carbonate, or also called as washing soda. Now let's see how sodium carbonate is prepared. Now This sodium hydrogen carbonate, when it is heated, it forms sodium carbonate H2O plus carbon dioxide. This sodium carbonate, it is also called as an anhydrous. It is an anhydrous salt, right? Now this sodium carbonate will mix with Na2CO3. It will mix with 10 molecules of water so as to produce another compound which is called as Na2CO3 10H2O. 10H2O. This is what is called as washing soda. This is washing soda, and it is also called as sodium carbonate decahydrate. It is called as sodium carbonate decahydrate, and this 10 stands for the water of, it is called as water of crystallization. It is called as water of crystallization. So, and this salt, it is called as an hydrated salt. This salt is also called as an hydrated salt, and this salt contains 10 molecules of water of crystallization in 1 formula unit of sodium carbonate, a salt. ठीक है, hydrated salt. So there are a variety of salt that appear in the form of anhydrous salt also and hydrated salt also. Now let us define what is water of crystallization. So you can define water of crystallization as it is the fixed number of water molecules chemically attached to each formula unit of a salt in its crystalline form. Now Na2CO3 10H2O, this 10H2O is water of crystallization. Other salts are also there that show this property. They appear in this form, hydrated salt. For example, copper sulfate 5H2O. Right, copper sulfate 5H2O, then calcium sulfate 2H2O, it is also called as gypsum. Now see here, the hydrated salt of copper sulfate, it contains 5 molecules of water of crystallization. Right, now we can and this, the color of the copper sulfate is, it is blue in color. See here, we can also check this with the help of an activity also. See, ये जो water of crystallization होता है, जैसे कि अभी ये hydrated salt हो गया copper sulfate 5H2O, ये salt को अगर हम हाथ में टच भी करते हैं तो it will not wet our hands. ठीक है, लगेगा नहीं, उसमें जो गीलापन होना चाहिए पानी की प्रेजेंस की वजह से वो आपको वेट नहीं लगेगा. अब हम ये एक एक्टिविटी के थ्रू देखते हैं. एक ड्राई सॉल्ट ले लेते हैं हम कॉपर सल्फेट का और चेक करते हैं कि कैसे हमें पता चलेगा कि इसके पास वाटर ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन है कि नहीं. अब देखिए, हम लोग एक टेस्ट ट्यूब ले लेते हैं. यहाँ पर ये हमने एक टेस्ट ट्यूब ले लिया. ठीक है, अब इसे यहाँ पे हमने एक स्टैंड टेस्ट ट्यूब होल्डर से हम इसे होल्ड करेंगे क्योंकि हम इसे हीट करना है. ठीक है, ये हमने एक टेस्ट ट्यूब होल्डर बना दिया और इसे हमने रख दिया है यू फ्लेम के ऊपर, और ये हो गया हमारा बर्नर. ये हो गया हमारा बर्नर, ये होगी फ्लेम. ठीक है, और इसमें हमने ले लिया है, ये ड्राई टेस्ट ट्यूब थी और हमने ये जो कॉपर सल्फेट का जो सॉल्ट लिया है वो सॉल्ट भी एकदम ड्राई है. ठीक है, अब यहाँ टेस्ट ट्यूब की पोजीशन देखिए. टेस्ट ट्यूब की पोजीशन कभी भी ऐसी होनी चाहिए कि इट शुड बी अवे फ्रॉम योर फेस, और ठीक है आपके फेस से वो दूर होनी. जैसे अभी यहाँ से अगर हम इसे होल्ड कर रहे हैं तो टेस्ट ट्यूब का फेस जो है दूसरी तरफ होना चाहिए. सपोज कोई रिएक्शन हुआ, कोई गैस आ रही है, कोई गैस इवॉल्व हो जाती है तो आपके फेस या आपकी बॉडी को डैमेज ना करे वो. ठीक है, तो अब आप क्या करोगे, इसे हम हीट करेंगे. जब हम इसे हीट करेंगे तो वी विल ऑब्जर्व कि यहाँ पर कुछ वाटर के ड्रॉपलेट्स आपको दिखाई देंगे ऑन द अपर इनर सरफेस ऑफ द टेस्ट ट्यूब. क्योंकि यहाँ पर फ्लेम है, इस जगह की कंपेयर में यहाँ पर जो है, जो ये थोड़ी ठंडी होगी ये टेस्ट ट्यूब, तो यहाँ आपको वाटर की ड्रॉपलेट्स दिखाई देगी. और ग्रेजुअली आप ये भी देखोगे कि ये जो कॉपर सल्फेट का जो ब्लू कलर का सॉल्ट था, ये जो धीरे धीरे है वो कलरलेस होता जा रहा है. ठीक है, कॉपर सल्फेट का जो सॉल्ट है वो कलरलेस होता जा रहा है. इसका मतलब क्या है, इसमें से जो है वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स इवॉल्व जो है वो इवेपोरेट हो गया है एंड इट इज कंडेंस्ड हियर एज अ वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स, और ये सॉल्ट कलरलेस हो गया. राइट, अब हम इसमें क्या करेंगे, अगर हम इसमें कुछ ड्रॉप्स ऑफ वाटर, कुछ पानी की बूंदे अगर हम इस सॉल्ट में डाल देते हैं तो ये सॉल्ट का कलर क्या हो जाएगा, ये वापस से जो है वो ब्लू कलर का हो जाएगा. इनिशियली हमने इसमें लिया था कॉपर सल्फेट का सॉल्ट, इसे हीट किया जो कि ब्लू कलर का था, फिर वो क्या हो गया, हीट करने पे उसका कलर हो गया था वाइट, फिर हमने उसमें ऐड किया वाटर और फिर वो बन गया ब्लू कलर का. तो इसका मतलब ये कॉपर सल्फेट का हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट था, हीट करने पे इसका वाटर इवेपोरेट होकर वापस से जब आपने इसमें पानी ऐड किया तो दोबारा ये जो है हाइड्रेटेड सॉल्ट बन गया था, ठीक है। तो ये हो गया जो है आपका ये वाटर ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन के बारे में। अब हम नेक्स्ट एक और कंपाउंड बनाते हैं, वो सॉल्ट है हमारा, that is called as plaster of Paris. But before going into this plaster of Paris, let's have a look at the uses of washing soda, right? See here, washing soda is used in glass, soap and paper industry, and then it is also used in cleaning agent for domestic purpose, and then it is used for removing permanent hardness of the water. So all these are the uses of, see, so many chemicals we are studying here. All these chemicals have its own importance, right? Now see here, another important salt we are going to study, that is plaster of Paris. That is plaster of Paris. Now let's see how plaster of Paris is obtained. The plaster of Paris is obtained by heating calcium sulfate 2H2O, that is gypsum. When this gypsum is heated at 373 K or at 100 degrees Celsius, it forms calcium sulfate half H2O plus 1.5 H2O. A molecule of water will be separated. See here, it is calcium sulfate. It is also called as calcium sulfate hemihydrate. This is also an hydrated salt, and calcium sulfate hemihydrate, which is also called as the plaster of Paris, it is also a hydrated salt. Now see here, this gypsum while heating, the temperature should not exceed 100 degrees Celsius or 373 K, because if the temperature exceeds 100 degrees Celsius, then what will happen, this plaster, instead of plaster of Paris, will get dead burnt plaster, and this dead burnt plaster, it will lose dead burnt plaster, and this dead plaster will lose its property to settle when it is mixed with water, because plaster of Paris has got a very unique property that when mixed with water, it settles. Whatever shape we want to give, it can take that shape when mixed with the water. So this is regarding how the plaster of Paris is prepared. Now let's see what are the uses of plaster of Paris. It is used in making toys, then decorative materials, statues. Then also it is used in making the surface smooth, like that of walls, ceiling, etc. It is also used in making chalk for writing in the blackboard. Then doctor use it as a plaster for supporting fractured bones in the right place. Okay, so students, with this we come to an end of this topic. In the next class we will study another chapter, and before I wind up, I have a small assignment for you. You can take down the questions. It is there on the screen. You can take down the questions, or you can take the snapshot of it, right? So till then, you please go through the assignment that I have given you, go through the notes, and so many questions are given in your textbook. You try to understand it and try to answer it. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, keep learning and keep practicing. Thank you.